What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel again. Today we're going to be doing a lighting install on my truck. Brian's actually here today.
Heidi ho!
He wasn't able to make it to the last one for my rock lights, so he got to go do a call or something.
Somebody's got to keep work going.
Yeah. But anyways, let's jump into this. Alright, so like I said, we're doing some strobe lights on my F650. We went ahead and took the grill out the front of it. It's going to make it easier for us running the wires and whatnot.
Comes out pretty easy.
Yeah.
All you gotta do,
Brian, tell you here.
all you gotta do is come up here on both sides of the truck. Right in here, there's a bolt, and right up here, there's a bolt on both sides of the truck.
Right down here.
Right down there.
Right there is the bottom bolt, and up there in that hole up there at the top is the top bolt. It's got 4. Make sure you use a magnet for the top ones, because they won't come out pretty easy, or they'll fall behind it.
Alright, Billy's going to show you here how the grill pops off real quick.
Alright, so basically we pull the grill out like we said. It's got these clips on here, up here at the top also, that hold it into place. And then I went ahead and just mounted my lights to where we wanted them to go. And then the actual grill has these little latches on it. And it's got these little tabs. Take a little flathead screwdriver, pops them right off, and then you can pull this straight out. Also, don't forget your 2 mounting brackets that hold it firmly on there.
Yeah, just a 10mm bolt that holds it on there.
It comes out. So basically, we're going to take and run our wire from this end around through this channel and then down and out, and then through the truck. So, yeah, let's get started.
Alright guys, what Billy's doing here is he's just putting a little bit of protectant on the wires. So that way we don't have to worry about them rubbing anything or weather, vibrations, anything that can cause it a short in the wiring. I mean, basically this is just some 3M stuff. You can buy it at Home Depot, O'Reilly's, pretty much anywhere they sell electrical stuff. We already went ahead and put some heat shrink on the wires as Billy's is falling off there on the end.
It's fine.
It's fine, but it's on the very end. We went ahead and marked on the wire where we're going to need to splice it in at, because we're actually going to splice the wire so that way there's just one set of wires for the whole thing. That way we can keep it all nice and tight up there and we don't have to worry about anything. So basically pretty simple stuff here. Now, the reason why we marked this wire on here, so that way we'll know where we're going to splice it at, so that way we can go ahead and run most of this, I guess, loom. I'm not quite sure what the technical word is for that. What's the technical word, Billy?
Loom, you're right.
Yeah, loom.
It's homemade loom.
Homemade loom. Like I said, it's just some, 3M stuff.
Tessa tape. I think it's called like Tessa tape.
Tessa tape, yeah, something like that.
It's not the fabric stuff.
So he's just going to go ahead and run all this stuff all the way down the wiring, just so that way we already have it in there, and we'll show you here in just a second on how we're going to run the wiring on here, so that way it's not clearly seen. You have to actually look for the wire. It's not. We want to try to keep all the wiring invisible as much as possible on this thing. Alright, what we're doing now is we are actually starting to connect the wires here. Billy had to trim them just a little bit off of there and strip them at the ends. And he's trying to get down there and do this. I'm going to have to hold the grill up for him here in a second. Alright guys, what we did here is we went ahead and ran our wires up underneath here, so that way they're all nice and tight. Nothing's going to be getting in the way. We're going to zip time here in a little bit. Billy went ahead and he's getting ready to solder this right here real quick. We like using solder ourselves personally. The way we see it is if it's good enough for NASA, we think it should be good enough for our tow trucks at least. So yeah, we're just going to solder it on here. And we're going to go ahead and use some heat shrink on here. Just red's what we got. Don't matter really what color you use. Just kind of heat it up, and that way it'll set on there. And then we're going to go back up and we're going to finish taping off the rest of that once we're done. We'll show you how to splice in. This is the very end of it, so we're going to show you how to splice into the wire here in just a minute and the proper way of doing it. So Go ahead and watch Billy here. He's going to twist these wires together. Make sure when you're doing this, make sure you keep all the wires separate from each other too. You don't want to be heating it up with the torch and chance melting the wire, and then wires end up shorting out. And that's another reason why we're using heat shrink too, just in case. That way nothing will be touching. Do not want any shorts on there, because worst case scenario, they can catch on fire. So just be careful with what you're doing. Alright, y'all, what Billy's actually doing right here, this is how you're going to splice it in here, at least the preferred way. I mean, you can run individual wires if you want to, but it's just not going to look as nice. It's going to look kind of janky, yeah. Yeah, he's just going to splice into the wire here, and you just, barely cut through the wire. You can use strippers, however you want to do it, but do not cut
with actual wire strippers, but you can do it with dikes. It's just a little more involved. But basically, you take your pocket knife once you get it back, and then poke right through the middle of the wires. Poke it in there, give it a little twist, it opens it up.
You use a screwdriver, pretty much anything for doing that part.
Screwdriver, knife.
He's already done 2 other wires on this one. 90% of your strobe lights that you're going to have, it's going to have 3 wires to it. You're going to have your hot wire, and you're going to have your ground wire, and then there's usually another 3rd wire on there. And what that is, that's your pattern control.
Pattern. He's right. It's pattern control. It's also considered sync too.
Yeah, it also syncs all the lights together, so that way they're working on the same function.
We're doing it this way because when we go to wire it actually to the truck, this yellow wire is our sync wire, our pattern wire. We're going to leave this one kind of out. That way, if I want to change the pattern later on down the road, all I have to do is apply 12 volts to this, and it's going to change all of them at one time.
Yeah. I mean, you can use anything for 12 volts on that. I mean, all it's got to be, you can use your jump box, you can use a hot wire, you can do is power probe. I mean, however you want to do it. So we're just going to solder this wire on here. I'm going to have to hold this, so I'm going to have to put the phone down. So, anyways, we'll be back in just a second. Alright guys, we got all the lights wired up now. We showed you how to do that just a couple minutes ago. Now we're just trying to get this wire ran. Billy's got the 3M tape stuff that we got there to insulate this stuff with. He's going to go ahead and run that about a good 6-7 foot. We're not going to bore you with this video. It's pretty simple stuff. Just take the stuff, wrap it over, and repeat about 50 billion times. So, anyways, we'll be back in just a second, folks. Billy, let me see your grill. Alright, me and Billy got the grill back in now. We done run our wires up through the hole, the big giant hole in the grill. If you can't figure out how to do that, then you probably shouldn't be doing this yourself. So, we're going to flip up the hood now. Billy, since I'm recording. And we're going to go ahead, and these 4 nuts that we put in here, or that we took out of here earlier, right there and down here, we're going to go ahead and put those back in, and we'll be back in just a second. You saw our rock light install that Billy did the other night. What we're going to do is, since the wires all pretty much come right here to a point, as you can see down there, we got plenty of clearance. We don't have to worry about stretching the wires or anything like that, or anything catching. We're just going to connect it up there to that harness, and we're going to run it back along the same line we did with the rock wire. Or the rock light hookup. So, anyways, you're probably going to need about 7-8 foot to be able to run this properly of wire off of here. As you can see down there where Billy's at, we still have some more, so we can loom it up if we need to. And so just take it up there. Make sure you clear the steering connector, the gearbox, and all that stuff. Make sure you clear all that stuff. You don't want that getting caught up in there and something shorting out.
Alright guys, so we finished up the lights and everything, got them all wired, ran. I haven't done the power wire yet. I just got a call to go do. So I'm going to run and do that call, come back, we'll get some night footage of the lights going and everything, and then we'll go from there. Hopefully y'all enjoyed the video, and Brian, didn't talk too much.
I never talk too much.
He does that sometimes.
Y'all love the sound of my beautiful voice.
Okay.
Hey, it's better than looking at me.
Yeah, that's true. But anyways, other than that, y'all know what to do. Hit that like button if you like that video. Hit that dislike button if you didn't like that video. Make sure to comment, subscribe, and yeah.
Hit us up sometime. Remember, watch your 6 out there, guys.
Yeah. So, alright guys, later.